Well, the worst case scenario would be suicide, and many victims of bullying have committed suicide in America and I'm sure in other parts of the world. And it's because nobody stood up and fought for them. Nobody stood up and said what's happening is wrong. And so they saw no way of escape from what was happening to them. They were a victim. See, wherever there's a victim, there's a perpetrator. A perpetrator is somebody who commits a violent act or an act of bullying against somebody. The victim is somebody who is the person that's picked on, the person that is abused. And wherever there's a victim, there's a perpetrator. And nobody stood up to that perpetrator. So the victim said, I don't see any way of escape. And they killed themselves because it was their only way out. That's the worst case scenario, but it happens. But if we stand up for the weaker, if we stand up for the victims, and we stand up for those that have crimes committed against them, that are picked on and bullied, and words hurt. Words hurt. When people call me bad names, it hurts. Yeah? And you know, I teach my kids that it takes 40 good words to undo one bad. Did you know that? No such thing, huh? No, I think that when I say something negative about you, it's going to take me a whole lot of positive things to undo the negative thing I said about you. Yeah? And that's just the way life is. So you try to set the example by standing up for the victim and saying, stop picking on them. Because like I said, if nobody stops the crime when it's small, when it's just words, pretty soon they're doing more than that. More than just words. They're pulling them into a dark alley and they're doing things, and they're picking, or they're beating them up, or they're stealing something from them. I was the victim of bullying when I was a kid. I had a guy who was much bigger than me, believe it or not. When I was in 3rd grade, I was very small. I was very small. Yeah, yeah, very small. And there was a bully who was very big. He was a couple of years older than me, and he weighed maybe 100 kilograms. Yeah, and I weighed like 50 or 20. I don't know. I was small. And he would follow me home from school every day. And if he caught me, he would hide behind trees. And if he caught me on the way home, he would jump on top of me and he would take his scissors and he'd put it on my face like this, and he would say, I'm going to cut off your nose. And it was scary for a 3rd grader. I will never forget that. I'm 57 now, and I still remember. Did I get revenge? No. If I took a different way home from school so he couldn't find me, the next day he'd beat me up more.
Did you dream about that every night?
I dreamt about that for a long time. Yeah, I think I still dream about that. But the thing is that if I'd have known then what I know now, I would have, you know, eventually I told my parents. And I think my dad called his dad and it stopped. But it went on for a long time before I told my parents. And that was wrong. I should have told my parents right away. Okay, so tell a parent, tell a teacher, tell somebody you're a victim so it stops before it gets worse, okay? Stand up for the truth.
Okay, the last question. If you